Hello, this is Olga Jevtich. I'm a fashion designer and Miss Virginia Senior America 2003. Thank you very much for tuning in today. This is Fashion Notes. Now something different I would like to discuss about fashion. I would like to ask you a question. What do you think about weird fashion today? It looks like the fashion gets crazier and crazier by the hour. Or is it? What about low pants, often paired with high shirts, so you can see spare tire of bare skin for all the world to see? What's going on here? Where did this look come from? With some research, almost all of wacky looks that are popular today have been around for thousands of years. Looks like me have exhausted all good fashion options. I think the credit goes by the man of ancient Egypt for the look. Statue of Egyptian King Akhenaton and his queen Nefertiti show him wearing low-cut skirts and high shirts incorporated with jewelry. If you were to see him on the street today, you will think he has a massive case of skin belt. So, did everyday Egyptian look like that? Probably not. Egyptian clothing was not quite revealing as in the statues. Rather, it was idolized, perhaps in the same ways as today runways. Fashion represents extreme looks, and they are toned down for a real-world appearances. This is not because the Egyptian feared flashing the flesh. No. Kids, slaves, and entertainers often wore nothing. Do you hear that, Britney Spears? It has been done before. You are not original. Egyptian clothes were not about function. Pleated garments, which took more fabrics, were designers' clothes of the day, and their social status was higher. Egyptian women also wore lipstick and nail polish from henna leaves, and surprising, both men and women wore eyeliners. This is a big surprise. This is just a sample of weird fashion of today and yesterday. I think each of the today's weird fashion we can find similar throughout history for comparison. Probably one day our today fashion will look weird for the future generation. This is something to think about weird fashion. Now we have serious fashion that will always be in fashion. I visit art gallery for a long time, and I like to find, I would like to find new artists to feature on my show, especially something that they are working by hand. This is a society where we live fast and we live, everything is instant, and we would like to see people that really actually work with their hands and they create something one of the kind. So when I was in gallery in Alexandria Torpedo Factory, and I met two ladies, which are two today. They are going to bring their creation for you to enjoy and to see what people are doing with their hands, not only with machines. And this is something to be very much appreciated. The lady on my left is Gloria Barbary. She is an artist and designer, and she does many different things, and we are going to show her on the model, and also I would love to talk to her. She has lots to tell us. Welcome, Ms. Barbary.
Thank you.
And good to have you here. She took time from her work to be part of our show so our viewers can see what artists in our area doing. I cannot stress enough how many talented people we have in Washington area, and Ms. Barbary is one of those people. She makes some beautiful things, and she's going to explain to you And also, I would like to ask a few questions. And how did you start working on this beautiful design? I know you do raincoats, but we are going to show them later. But these scarves are very fascinated. For example, this is a hand-painted silk. Isn't it beautiful? They are such a beautiful colors. How did you pick your colors first, or it just whatever it comes after the technique you are using to do this?
Actually, I work in a series of colors. I will take a series of maybe 5 colors, and I will do a series of maybe about a half a dozen or a dozen scarves. And once I finish that particular group of scarves, I put those dyes aside, and I put aside another group of dyes or paints, and I will do another group of scarves. And the reason I do that is when I show my work in the Fiberworks Gallery, which is Studio 14 on the first floor of the Torpedo Factory, I want to have a large selection of people to choose from.
That's
and
right,
as you know, there are many people that will only wear jewel tone
certain colors, yes.
So by designating a few colors for a few half dozen or dozen scarves, I will have a larger choice for people to select from.
To select, And I see different style also, not just style, but this is different technique. This is like a pleated thing. How do you do that? Is this the fabric pleated already, or you are doing pleating?
Oh no, I wish it was pleated already. This is pleated. This fabric starts out white. And
that was white silk.
This was white silk, and it was 18 inches wide. And what I did is I actually pleated it over, and I placed this on an angle on a PVC pipe. And for each little hill and valley, I take the thread and pass it around the tube, and after about 5 inches, I push it together. The reason I do that is to, first of all, make the pleats, and second of all, the dye will go in some parts and it won't go in other parts.
Can you control the colors?
Up to a point. The more liquid or water you put in, the more migration you will have of the dyes. And if you have a lot of migration, sometimes colors will go over each other. This particular area here, I did not put a lot of liquid of the blue dye, so that when I took the piece off, it trapped these colors in the middle.
I can see this pleating is different than this one. Is this the different technique?
Oh,
like
yes. This is very
really,
involved.
And also this is very nice for traveling. You can just put, any place in your suitcase, it will come out fine. Is that right?
As long as you don't get them wet. This particular technique in silk does not like water.
I see.
The pleats won't go entirely out of it, but it will make little areas that is different from the pleated
So this
area.
is a different technique that you're using to do this?
This is the same technique, except when the piece was finished, I took it off the PVC pipe and I replaced it at another angle on the PVC pipe.
Oh, so I can see the different texture here.
Yes, yes. It gives a lot more texture and a lot more spring.
Is this a method suitable only for scarves, or you can do, I don't know, some jackets maybe, or?
You can do jackets, but one of the things that's very difficult is to do something that is worn below the waist, because when you sit down, the heat and the pressing of the body will do some very strange things to the pleats.
I see, but the scarves are probably just the perfect thing to do. So you don't, this is a one piece, isn't it? There is no seam anywhere.
No, this started out.
And how do you finish the ends?
Well, this is a process where you leave the selvage. On this particular one,
if the fabric, for example, very wide,
yes.
So you have to use the whole
yes.
Width of the fabric.
Right, exactly.
So you have a finish edges.
Then what happens, this was a narrow hem put by machine. But this one was different. I used a special multi-threads which when it's placed on the machine and on the fabric, it looks like tiny little beads.
Oh, it does. So you put this by machine.
Yes.
You stitched by machine in,
Right.
in this shiny thread.
There are actually 3 threads together, and they are metallic threads.
Is it difficult to work with the thread in like a like in silver or gold or blue, like a shiny?
Yes, because the friction sometimes, if
Yeah,
you sew too fast, they break.
I see. So they are, as you can see, they come in different beautiful colors and designs, and it's a very, very interesting, and it can brighten any outfit. If you just wear just a plain dress, you can put a scarf on, and it can be instantly very beautifully interesting dressed. All these colors are amazing.
Now this is another technique. This is dye resist and hand painted, and when I resist it, I can put patterns in the fabric itself.
Oh, so was this white also?
I only work in white. When you work in white fabric, then you sometimes put a ground color, which means that if you are going to put other colors in, a ground color will show the first color you put in. If you don't put a ground color and you paint, sometimes the paint will not migrate enough, and then you end up having hot spots of white.
I see. You don't do this like I saw in the museum in France, in Lyon, at the textile museum. They are painting by brush, and you are not using this technique.
I just did not bring that particular technique. That's how everyone starts, yes.
This is how you start. Is this the easiest way to start,
What?
you know, with the brush and to paint it with the brush? Because I actually saw how they do it there, and they sell
depends.
scarves in the museum also. You know this, you know, this method. But this is very interesting. Did you learn yourself, or
No,
you know?
I lived in Paris many years, and I belonged to a little club. And at that time, we were only doing it for fun and to sell. And as I began to experiment myself with different techniques,
I see.
it began to be more involved. In other words,
It started as a little hobby and then
Yes.
turned to business. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
I
Especially
see.
when I saw this particular method when I was in
But
San
this is,
Francisco.
I think this is like a Japanese or,
It is
or
Japanese.
Oriental technique that they are using a lot, and that translated here on our West.
Well, it was brought here to the States by Yoshiko Wada, who wrote a book about this technique. And I also, when in 1995, I went to Japan for 2 weeks with Yoshiko to see the last of the masters who is doing this technique.
I see.
But
So
it's
you
now
saw-
all over the world. The technique
Yeah,
is
I
all
know.
over the world.
I know it's spread now. You know,
Yes.
the people are really doing everywhere. But this is really fascinating. You know how they, you know, they think how to do it to make a beautiful
Well, actually,
garment.
this was a process that was only done by men. This process was done by men
because it was difficult to do it, and the man.
It's very difficult when you have the fabric pushed together. And as you put on, this is 5 or 6 yards of fabric.
5 or 6.
As you get the fabric to get smaller on the pipe.
So you
and
really
in
need
their
muscle,
case,
muscle
yes, you
work
do.
for it?
And actually it took 2 men. But in the case of the Japanese, they use tree trunks. But in the case, and which was a lot easier because you're going from small to large. In a PVC pipe, it's only one straight size, so it gets pretty tricky.
And how long it stays on the pipe? You know, does it yes, a certain period of time?
Oh, yes,
Till it's
yes.
dry?
Yes, you, first of all, when I place it on a pipe, and sometimes I dye part of it before I place it on the pipe, sometimes after it's on the pipe. And I like it to stay at least 48 hours so that the soaking, and they call it batching.
Does it dry by itself, or you have to use some heater or
Oh
something?
no, I'm not finished yet. Once it's dry for 3 or 4 days, it's called batching. That's to get the color saturated in the fabric. And then I set up a steaming process like a big oven that stands up straight, which I had someone build for me. And I placed that tubing with the fabric on it in this oven like for at least 4 hours. and that steams it in slowly so that the color will hold into the fabric. And then after that, it comes off. It's a very long process. And then after that, when it comes off out of the steamer, then I wash it while it's on the tube at least 8 or 10 times until I get the clear water coming off the tube. Then I dry it again.
See, this is a complicated process. And if you count, you know, the hours that she put in it, this is actually priceless. I mean, you cannot, how can you put a price on something like that? Because you use, but not just this. We are going to see now the raincoats that she's doing, and we have a model here, so she's going to show us. Can you imagine you know, it's raining and, you know, such a, you know, depressing day, you put this beautiful, colorful raincoat, and then you instantly feel much better. Can we see our model? This is Miss Barbara, who is also an artist. We'll see her later with her design. And will you explain this to our viewers?
This is microfiber. This fabric is water repellent, which means that the water just really rolls off the coat itself. Many people ask me why it isn't waterproof. Frankly, a woman would never want to wear a waterproof coat because what would happen is you would perspire.
Too stiff, and it's not comfortable. And this is also very good. You know, you can travel, you can fold it and does not wrinkle.
Unbelievably, this coat can be rolled up.
And also, you can wear it when it's not raining. You know, you can wear it really, you know, any time. You know, it's great over like for spring and fall, and even in the summer when it's a little coolish. And this is kind of grayish color, isn't it? With a beautiful.
Well, it's a gray-green.
Green, yeah, with piping that you have in the back, in the front, and the different colors, like a quilting, actually. And does it have a lining?
No, it does not have a lining.
Oh, this is even nicer. No. You know, it's really beautiful.
Actually, what it is, it's almost like a windbreaker because it holds the body's heat in.
Yes, and also, you know,
breathable.
For windy. Okay, now we would like to see another one that she brought, you know, a couple of raincoats so you can have idea what she does. And, you know, she's a very multi-talented lady. And you hear all this process. My goodness, this should cost like so much money, you know, you know, so much work that she put in making of this scarf. So that's why it's very important that people go to the art gallery and meet the artist actually working there. This is in Torpedo Factory, where she works and with other artists, and that you can actually see them working and making by hand, which is probably losing today. And I hope it will never die, because this is something that will be always wonderful, that people make things by hand, unique, one of a kind, and beautiful. Is that right?
Yes. This particular process I cannot do in the factory because I don't have enough space. But the raincoats I do make at the factory. I have machines in my studio on the second floor.
So you just actually started from buying microfiber and cut there and work in the studio?
Well, actually, no. I had to enter a piece of artwork in something made with fiber. And it had to say something. And at the last minute, I got the urge to do this particular coat. And I had a little whistle on the end. And I called this coat the Whistlestop Raincoat. And it meant if you want a taxi and you're in New York and you had to write a little story.
Oh, that's so clever.
And if you want your own taxi, you take your little whistle and you whistle.
Oh, we have to see that.
No,
Let me
no.
see.
The customers, over the years, the customers did not want to whistle. But I still call it the Whistlestop Raincoat.
Let's see another coat. Oh, look at this with the scarf. It's just stunning. And the back is unbelievable.
I give each series a name. This is the Tiffany Coat. And because of the back
on the back, yeah, like a Tiffany lamps and the chandeliers.
And that again is sewn with the multicolored
But this is actually
red.
Same style of the coat, except you put embellishment on the back. with like a Tiffany style. And of course, if you want to be even more chic, you put extra scarf.
This is called a tango shawl.
And a tango, that's right. I mean, you can start dancing immediately, and you can have it, you know. Oh, it's really very, very stylish, very stylish. Thank you, Barbara. Oh, this is
The interesting thing about the coats is I have about 4 or 5 designs, but for some reason this particular
this is very practical,
style,
I think.
Well, I think this particular style seems to be more popular because it's not centered. Is off-centered, and all of my customers say, I love this coat because it makes me look 10 pounds thinner.
Thinner, yes, that's right. I think we have one more coat she's going to show. Well, who doesn't want to look thinner? My goodness, I think this is a good idea. Just keep making those, you know, to make us thinner, because nobody wants to be wider. We would like to be thinner. Yeah, this is a good design. I like it. And also you can just wear anything underneath and look very stylish. And, you know, especially this is, you do it in color too.
Yes, I sometimes run them in about 9 or 10 colors. I buy fabric in small amounts because I'm really not interested in making a lot of them in different colors.
And people like more to have, like, you know, not very many of the kind. So they like unique things, and this is what the artist is all about.
I actually take orders on these coats, and I make them to your size. And you try on my sample, and then I adjust it to your size.
Wow, I think that's a great idea. Let's see this beautiful purple. Look at this color. Oh, yeah, makes you smile on rainy day.
This is called the Intarsia.
Intarsia.
And I cut the little pieces of fabric so that I make like little strips, and I place them, and no 2 coats are ever alike. And I place them together and make a strip, and then I insert the like ribbon-like pieces. And many times a customer will want 1 or 2 little stripes of the fabric with the colors on the collar.
It's really very, very unique. And this is lightweight, and you can pack, you know, just put it in any suitcase and just take it out, and it looks perfect. You don't have to do any ironing or anything. And you can wear it in the evening too.
Well, on occasion,
doesn't have it to be rain, you know?
On occasion, I've had women to order a wide belt and a low place.
Oh yeah,
the belt.
you can play with it. You can have probably one of the colors that you have on the back. Yeah, right. Well, thank you, Barbara. I think we should have some time for Barbara things to show, because she's a wonderful artist too that does like a knitting things, and she came today in beautiful outfit, and also she had some earrings and things that she does too. So Barbara, you just get ready for your work to be shown.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it was really my pleasure. But those are scarves, I'm very impressed. You know, you did a beautiful, beautiful job, and you can see. And I think people should know that you are in Torpedo Factory. This is pretty color.
This is also some small ones I've done for the holidays. And this is for people who just can't seem to tie them. Or they just
you can double.
Put them any place you want. And you don't have to worry about if it's right. There's no wrong way.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I like it very much, and I can absolutely brighten any outfit with it. It's really beautiful. Oh, the color. So you did it in different
everything
colors?
starts at white, just white.
Yeah, it's amazing. I like this, you know, greenish, and also the edging is beautiful that you did, you know, with the shiny
the multicolored threads, yes.
So you use like three threads together?
Depending on the effect I want, yes.
Oh, I like it very much. It's absolutely beautiful. As you can see, these ladies are very, very talented. And you know, I will encourage you, whenever you have time, to go to visit your neighborhood gallery, support them, and you will be surprised how many interesting and handmade things our neighbors doing. And because everything these days is machine made and instant, and then, you know, when you see somebody that does something with your hands, you really appreciate that, you know, work that is put in this garment, because it's different and it's beautiful. And when you just put one of your scarves around, just a plain anything, even, you know, when wearing jeans, you can look very fashionable and you know, different. It's definitely different. You cannot buy this in your local Walmart, definitely.
I hope not.
You are not. So you just go to the gallery and, you know, look for all these beautiful things that our art is doing, and you'll be really pleasantly surprised to find out. And also in Torpedo Gallery, there are actually workshops there. The people work there, so you can watch you know, work in progress there, and you can buy and even talk to the artist, so you see how the things are done. Like Gloria has an office studio there, and she works there, doesn't lose any time. And thank you, Gloria, very much for coming up today and showing us your beautiful things.
Thank you.
And I hope, you know, people can go and see your work there.
There are also 160 of us.
160 artists. This is amazing.
We all do very different
there is
things.
something for absolutely everybody there. So go ahead, and on weekends, I'm sure it will be wonderful to be on the waterfront in Alexandria, visit all these beautiful galleries, talk to the artists, and buy some of their work. They are unique, and you will be absolutely unique wearing that. As you can see, lovely. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much.